Nobody knew more about the human brain than the strange man hunched over a test tube in the darkened laboratory. His domed skull cast an odd pointed shadow on the wall. It was midnight, but the scientist did not care about such minor details as time. He knew that the human brain contained 100 billion neurons, each linked to as many as 10,000 others. He knew that every single neuron was an electrically active brain cell. He knew that all those neurons possessed all the information in the brain. Even the brain's owner was deeply asleep. The neurons would still be busily at work sorting and storing knowledge. Sorting and storing, he sighed to himself. Sorting and storing. But he also knew that the brain contained secret pathways of neurons that had never been used, pathways that could exist long after the absence of memory, pathways that he had patiently explored and now and knew how to tap and control with deadly accuracy, and that had led to his latest discovery. He was the only scientist in the world who had found a new way to connect those vast secret networks of neurons. In other words, he could create a brain within a brain. How he savored the thought. Every human on the planet could now have a second brain, a secret brain, without having to increase the size of his or her skull to fit it in. A brain within a brain. For this, medical science would remember him. Scientists would the world over would speak his name with awe and respect. Dr. Blacknose would be the first man in the world to let human beings be twice as intelligent as they were now. Fame and fortune would be his. Streets and parks and bridges and the hospitals would be named in his honor. Never again would he have to slave away in his little laboratory into the small hours of the morning. Blacknose, he told himself, you are a genius. But first he needed a guinea pig, someone whose brain he could experiment with, someone who wouldn't ask questions about his or her work, about his work or give him any trouble, someone whose brain he could control. And so he rode his chair across the floor to consult his massive mainframe computer that contained the names of millions of school students. Students who had failed their exams, students who definitely needed a second brain. He punched in commands and honestly studied the results before at last selecting one name, Hedy Hugh Ray Kwan.